Hi, everyone. This is Swooper, and welcome back to a Target Acquired podcast, your occasional dose of Marvel Crisis Protocol news, strategy, and banter. We're excited to have you with us today, whether you're painting, prepping for your next tournament, or just hanging out. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this episode, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update. And if you're enjoying the content, consider supporting us on Patreon. Every little bit of support helps us grow the channel and bring more awesome content your way. Today, we have a special guest joining us on the cast. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey, everybody. Yes, I am Wyatt, also known as Ember Skull in most Discords, as well as like Launchakes. I'm part of the Nova Protocol group up in Virginia and DC area.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you with us. And we have our usual.
Crossroads.
Hey. So today, what was it about like 3 days ago, we all signed up for Adepticon. So I wanted to go through and see what our plan was for Adepticon because we've got a little over 2 months until we gotta play MCP for a full weekend.
God, that gives me anxiety. I have so much to paint.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That timeline list, I was like, crap.
I know. I like started with just my models that I already have that are mostly painted, and then I kept going. Well, maybe I'll add this one in. Well, maybe I'll add this, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta buy like 5 boxes and paint like 12 guys.
I was super excited on the timeline because I was like, oh yes, Shield. Wait, where's Namor? Wait, where's Nick Fury? Oh no, it's Iron Man.
That's what I said. I was like, oh, I have most of my Guardians painted, and I looked at the Guardians list. I was like, there ain't no Guardians on here.
So then, with our Adepticon, we've got our tickets and everything like that. What are we playing for MCP?
Boy. Yeah, I'm playing MCP every day. It's starting with, I believe the first event is the teams event.
So the doubles.
Yeah, the doubles event. And then the next day is the qualifier. And then the next day is hopefully the worlds. If not the worlds, then timeline. And then after timeline, I am in the affiliation battle.
Awesome. Why? What are you signed up for?
I'm also in the Crisis Protocol Teams Tournament or doubles. My partner in crime is going to be Chris this year. We are doing likely at this time. This is what we're on. We're on a Kingpin Criminals and or Shadowland and Spider Foes duel, which has a lot of overlap. So that will be very, very fun.
Awesome.
We were thinking Goblin Shadowland. That's fun. We got the qualifier, of course, on the 27th, and then I'm doing a Shatterpoint, which isn't part of this podcast, but wasn't able to get a MCP ticket secured for that day, unfortunately. And then I'm actually doing the What If on the final day, which will be very fun and interesting.
So no timeline?
No timeline. No. I also have a pretty small bag, unfortunately. I would love to do timelines normally.
Awesome. That's funny you guys are doing crime because I think that is also what our team is bringing at the moment.
Nice.
I don't think they're decided.
We have
As
not
one should,
decided yet.
As one should.
I think my teammate, Mr. Reynolds Rep, cares a little more about what we play than I do. So I am letting him make the final decision.
I think the theme should just be Dormammu every year. And that would be it. You guys are we're the Dormammu team that shows up every year.
There you go.
This is
We
the
got
year to
far.
do it. After that, errata. Heck yeah.
I just played him the other day. He's on the YouTube channel or whatever. Man, I think he's fine, but I rolled so bad and it just like soured me on him. It sucks. Are you signed up for anything? Like you said, you're signed up for Shatterpoint. Are you signed up for any like painting classes or anything like that?
Not this year, just because of 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Yeah.
I got that the AMG presentation. We did have to sign up for that this year. Secured that as soon as I could. But normally, I think last year what I did actually is I joined a class that was like 5 minutes before start. They had some spots, so I just went for it. I was like, I got the energy. I'm going to do it. So awesome, so worth it.
Yeah, we did a couple last year and they were really good, but the timeline goes till like 10, 11. Like it goes outrageously late. The doubles goes outrageously late.
10.
And then all the other painting classes seem to be like you have to choose. Hey, do you want to play games or do you want to do painting classes? Yeah, I know like it sucks for the painters that like if they want to do classes, trying to make them do classes at night is like not fair. But at the same time, if you're getting paid to do it that way, I feel like you would sell so much more if you made the
Yes.
nighttime, for painters.
Completely agree. I would honestly, if there were some that were much later, guaranteed to be like on the 28th, supposedly my shatter point ends at 7. I'd go to a painting class at 8. That sounds great.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, exactly to your point.
We usually try to hit like an RPG at some point, like just something random. And I mean like so random. I've never heard of the system. I don't even we barely know what it's even about. We're like, fuck it. Let's just go. And it's a one shot. So who cares what happens? You're not there to, continue this game for 10 years. It's one and done kind of thing. So let's make it as chaotic as possible.
Yeah.
It usually ends up being that way where it'll go like off the rails real quick. But I haven't signed up for anything like that yet. Only the MCP stuff and the ticket. And then we'll have to go back through and look for something crazy. But yeah, they're long days. I'm glad the heats are gone.
Yes.
And I'm glad that the timeline is now went back to being 6 rounds all in one day rather than the 3 rounds and then you're out. But it does mean these are long days.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing I'm glad the heats are gone. I'm nervous about the GT winners automatically get into the top 64. I just like to know how many GTs there are.
I wish that was clearer a long time ago.
Yeah, are we going to have 32 GT winners taking up half the slots for the second day? Are we going to have 60 and only the top 4 are going to get in?
Yes, that's a good point.
And my problem with that too is that AMG it seems like they like to give GT status to certain areas, and those areas might only get 8 people at their GT. When at a normal tournament, I've applied for GTs multiple times, and at our normal tournaments, we're at 20 plus people. If not, we can pack in at 32 for a GT, and I can't get status, and that sucks because then that person who wins out of the 8 locals that they play gets to go on automatically to Adepticon, versus I think the East Coast area where we have the most solid meta around, and our players are good.
Yes.
We're good enough where Schmid comes out and plays with us, kind of thing, and he's very good. So I think we're underestimated. I think the Nova in general area is very underestimated.
100%. Peek that Lawnshanks scoreboard, everybody, because there's a lot of people in our area that's on that top 100, top 200.
Right. Oh yeah, and especially in affiliations and stuff like that. We have a lot of people that are up there in their affiliations alone. So with us doing all these Adepticon things, and I guess since you guys are both going to be playing, what are you thinking about taking for the grand tournament?
I'm taking Crime. I love playing Crime. I'm so used to playing Crime that I feel comfortable with it. And there's even last year at Adepticon, there's a lot of really good Crime players. And I learned a lot of interesting things that I try to use in my games now. So hopefully I learn more this year, and then I don't know. Eventually, maybe I'll be good at it.
Going second's rough after that, Gary, because also Crime. For those that don't know too, Gary and I have been playing Crime for 5+ years, right? At this point,
Yeah, it's been a while.
Kingpin himself got me into Marvel. I love the street level fighters and the common villains. Kingpin and most of that stuff, anyway, right? But always Kingpin. Kingpin with. I mean, for over a year and a half, I was just running the Kingpin leadership, and if I got to pay to flip, I was like, all right, leaderless, let's go. But yeah, it's going to be Crime again, absolutely.
I don't know what I'm doing. I've been playing. I'm in the same boat as you guys, but with Shield, where I've only played Shield at everything forever, and I love Shield, but I think I might take Brotherhood. I feel like Brotherhood's underrated. I don't think they're bad. I think I can catch people off guard. And with Namor coming out, Shield didn't skyrocket, but they definitely went up in popularity. And I really like playing wide. I like playing wide with a bunch of little guys, and I think Brotherhood is really fun that way.
I think your Brotherhood's really good.
I think it's correct. I think it's the other side of your coin besides Shield.
Yeah.
Those are your two mains. Yeah, absolutely.
They're very similar, but Shield kind of went towards that with Namor, went towards attrition.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's just not the way anymore.
I mean, I think that's the only thing that keeps criminals is there's just a couple attrition teams out there that do really, really well against criminals. And it's like, all it takes is facing one of them and it bumps you out. And it's
Mhm.
like, well,
Yep.
And that'll be Inhumans all this year.
All the
Yeah.
time.
All Inhumans all day. They are very good. Who's the other one? Apocalypse is the other one.
Yep.
yeah.
Which is funny because I've
Dormammu's
been
creeping
to
up
a
in
whole
that
bunch
list
of
now, too.
tournaments lately, and I haven't seen very many Apocalypse players in our area. But he's
Yep.
super strong.
Apocalypse got me day 2 of Adepticon last year. Yeah.
Well, with that stuff, so you guys are taking crime, I'm taking Brotherhood. We had a request for talking about how do we pick our crises. So the crisis rules have changed. It went from 3 to 5 now. But like when you guys are deciding for taking crime, what do you look for when you're deciding what crises to take in your roster? Like what sets like this is the one I want because why?
I typically start with eeny, meeny, miny, mo. No, I'm just kidding. So that's a hard question for crime because it really depends on which side of crime you're playing. I tend to lean more on the Kingpin.
Let's just assume that that's where we're leaning for both cases is because like you both play Kingpin a lot.
Yep.
Let's just that's obviously like the first part of picking your crises is looking at your team.
Yep. Yeah. So the big thing you want to do is look at your team and decide what is it that my team is trying to accomplish. And it gets easier the longer you play and the more you play in affiliation. So like don't assume that you're making the right choices on crises and never change them. So that's what I'll start with because I'm constantly reevaluating my crises. So the big thing is look at what your team's doing. So Kingpin, crime, I have a bunch of chunky potatoes that I really hope don't die, and I want to sit them on their healthy butts on the crises, and that is my goal. So the first thing I want to do is score really fast in rounds like 1 and 2, because if I do not score really fast in rounds 1 and 2, then I'm going to lose. So I want high scoring things. So I'm going to start by going, okay, what are the blues that have high scoring that I want to make sure I can win pretty easily? Number 1, super easy one, Superpowered Scoundrels. It's got 5 objectives. You got 5 points out on the board. You're good to go. Another one I really like for Kingpin is Riots because I sit on the blues and I heal myself, which helps me not die. So that's like my first 2. I'll let Wyatt jump in and give his opinion on a couple of the blues now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess one big thing too is we're talking about Kingpin specifically in this iteration. And if you're looking at all the leaderships, I'd say Shadowland has grown in a lot of popularity due to Mephisto, other pieces that tech with him really well. We got Loki. Specifically under Kingpin, I'm also rocking the Scoundrels. They love cover. It's high scoring, high threat. You can bring so many potatoes. You can bring them all in. That allows for the meat too. You don't need just the potatoes. You can bring in your heavy hitters if you need to wipe some stuff out of the board, right? Then you got, to your point, Riots all day. If I can heal Kingpin and my potatoes, then that's boiled potatoes. We love them. My personal opinion, and this could be where it starts to differ too, but it's what I'm also bringing in conjunction with Kingpin. So these are our splashes, and these are our maybe other pivots of leadership involving with that, right? So I've got Infinity Formula. I've got a lot of chargers in my list, and I like that. A lot of displacement involved with superpowers. And it all comes down to if they have enough power or not. Criminals, there's not, Kingpin specifically, you're not getting a lot of power unless you're getting beat. If you're getting beat up, then yeah. And at that point, you're not having a good Kingpin day anyway. But we got Infinity Formula. I'm also rocking Wedding Party and Mayor Fisk. And I think I hear a lot of comparison between the two because there's 2 of them at 16 threat and 20 threat, but they're both worth 2 points each. And that's where the high scoring goes in, where if I'm not scoring both secures every round, I'm not playing it right. And that's the goal. So 4 points at that point compared to like, let's take Scoundrels Riots, which Gary and I both have, probably on average scoring 3 to 4 points from that. Whereas I feel more consistent on 4 points for Fisk and Wedding. So those are mine currently. That's my 5.
Yep. So Fisk and Wedding are also in mine. So we do agree on those 4. So the 5th one, I've actually been playing around with a couple different ones lately. And this is where I'm like, our roster's different. I have Deadline in there.
Deadline I swapped out for Infinity.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting. Yeah.
I have Deadline in there, and that's because I like my other half is Shadowlands. So I have Shadowlands, Mephisto, Echo, Prowler. I have those, that high fast attack team that Deadline helps get that extra one little damage in there when I'm trying to sneak through. So that's Deadline's one of the ones that I pivot on and I move away from Kingpin. So like 4 of my blues are Kingpin, 1 is Shadowlands.
Yep. So for your Shadowlands comparison too, I want to throw out there, I'm trying different. I've been rotating different other leaders this whole time. I've done Shadowlands, I've done MODOK, I've done Mephisto, and then pivoting away from there too, I tried Steve, I've tried Sam, I did a little bit of Shield for a hot minute, and now I'm on Dormammu, and I think I like it a lot. Gives me a lot of freedom, especially with the Kingpin potatoes, etc.
Yeah, you get to play with whoever you're having fun with.
Exactly. And at that point, I'm just having more fun, and that's the goal.
All right. So when we start talking about extracts now, I feel like this is where a lot of variation comes in. So I have 3 of the 5 VP in mind. I have Spider Infected, Struggle for the Cube, and Terrigen. I have a love-hate relationship with Terrigen because we talked about it with the power.
Yes.
Poison is rough, and it never fails. I feel like 3 out of 4 people end up getting poisoned on my team, and I'm just like, oh, this sucks.
Kingpin leadership too, specifically, you need to have the power. You need to have the power for Kingpin needs to do his DR. He needs to do his person throw. You need to have your other bodies be able to endure things and use their superpowers. Anti-displacement tech, all that kind of stuff. Poison is probably, out of all the affiliations or leaderships, I think it hurts Kingpin the most now. We got like Inhumans and all this other stuff. It hurts Kingpin the most. Abomination is CS.
It also
So
it
it's
also
hard.
slows down
All according.
all according to plan. So like Terrigen's brutal. Spider Infected is also getting on that list of ones that I'm really contemplating taking out because man, it's put like my Rhino and stuff out of position so many times lately where I'm just like, this is I hear all the time people talking about Spider Infected and talking about how the displacement kills and like I'm like, oh, it does. I don't ever really see it happening that much. And like lately it's been like making me eat my words. So yeah, those 2 are really I'm debating on what to replace them with. Cubes, I love cubes. I think cubes is really great. I don't take hammers because I feel like everyone takes hammers, and if I want to play hammers, I'll just have my opponent use their reds. I also take scrolls. I think scrolls is really good. I mean, granted, you might get 1 push, but that's not as bad as spiders. And then I have jailbreak in mind just because it's the new hotness and I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really fun setup.
No Deadly Legacy fires for you, Gary?
No, and honestly, that's one of the ones that's going to replace either Terrigen or Spider Infected. I just haven't figured out what the other one is yet.
For my 5, and I think we're almost opposite besides Scrolls. Scrolls is the only civilian I have, and of course, I'm going to eye roll through this podcast through their headphones and straight to the person's brain who's listening to this, but Terra Genesis, man. Scrolls is the only civilian I got, but Scrolls is high threat and pretty good scoring, I'd say, overall. I feel like I've got enough safe grabs, etc. And with the new turn 0 rules and the setup and deployment and then who has priority, it's a hard world to establish certain things with that now. But we've got, going from top to bottom of threat, we got Scrolls. We got Legacy Virus. Kingpin loves the rugby toss. And it's so easy for him to get that 6 victory points at that point. And it's usually around round 3, which at that point you should have scored a lot on secures already.
Yeah.
The world's going your way. I've got Montesi formula Inhumans deploy advanced weaponry. And I do have hammers for your Grip City. The reason why I have those, the only one that Kingpin is going to hit the table on is Deadly Legacy. The other ones are all Dormammu.
Gotcha.
So that's where I'm at right now. But honestly, when I started making the changes, adding Dormammu as my new bit, I realized actually I liked Shadowland on this. I liked Mephisto on this. Like all the ones that I was doing, I'd say weirdly, the extracts have stayed the most consistent in my list, which is probably the opposite for you. It sounds like Secure seemed pretty solid for Kingpin. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and like I said, I'm definitely getting rid of two of mine. One of them is becoming Deadly Legacy. The other one, I've been going back and forth between Scientific Samples and Fear Grips.
I like Samples a lot, and that was my 6th contender.
Yeah, I like Samples. Fear Grips would be this is Shadowlands, but Scientific Samples, again, is another quick scorer. Senators, I never run wide enough to do Senators. And like Montesi, it doesn't score fast enough.
I think it Kingpin specific, back to the point that John was making, if we're just looking at it as a Kingpin lens. So I'm shunting my Dormammu side when we can shunt the Shadowland, Mephisto, whatever else we're putting in. Kingpin specific for crime. I want low scoring extracts. I don't want that to happen. I don't think that I'm going to play extracts as good as my opponent. Because if we're playing extracts, it's because I lost the role, not because I won it. A lot of the times, there's very, very few affiliations that I've encountered or lists in general where I feel, oh, I have like most of their secures, I have too. And it's just because of the way that they score. And a lot of the times I'll ask people why they have their 5 and they go, what if I get that Kingpin opponent? It's like, oh, you can give us that?
Yeah, like I said, I like Scientific a lot because the fact that it's almost like if you only grab 2 of them, it's easier to score that extra point.
Yes. I think isn't the average like if you're holding 2, you can on average get 3 points pretty easily, right?
Yes.
You hand your extracts back out of the way, they're not in the fight, is what you're going for. And then if your opponent's picking up the rest, there's 2 others.
It's
right?
just
2. As long as you guys are going even, all you got to worry about is winning the secures. And Kingpin should be doing that, right? So
or displacing one of their extract guys so they don't get the extra point.
Exactly. And so I don't know if this is too much of a tangent, so I apologize in advance, but it's down to, I think a lot of this gets influenced, like your redirection of, like we just went from 3 scenarios, 3 blues, 3 reds to 5. And then my opponent gets to see 2 revealed and then pick one of them. And they're going to pick the lesser of the evil, seems to be the conversation that keeps coming up with those, right? And usually at that point in time, then you pick them and you go, ooh. The first thought that should come to mind is, okay, if I don't get priority, which one hurts me less?
Yeah.
That seems to be what keeps running through my brain. It's not, oh, I have a chance of grabbing that middle Montesi 3-pointer.
Yep.
No, not at all, right? So at that point, I think it's definitely changed a lot of lists that involve the scenario game, especially the extracts.
And a lot of it now is like, so we'll go back to secures for a minute because I think our secures are really similar.
Absolutely.
Like, yes, I would love to just run Superpower Scoundrels. But the reality is I will probably never play Superpower Scoundrels because even if it's one of the 2, my opponent's probably going to pick the other one.
Yes.
Unless they have a really good play into it also. So it almost begins to like, out of my 5, which is my best, which is my opponent going to know is my best, I'm not going to play that. So which one out of the other 4 am I hoping for now? Like,
yes, exactly. I've been having this conversation with a lot of folks, and actually the keyword that we've been going on is deterrent. You've got, I'm sure listeners too, whatever list you've got cooking up or whatever you've been playing recently or played in the past that has the 5, you got to ask your opponents, okay, out of these that are here, which 1 to 2 scenarios would you go, absolutely not? Absolutely, I'm not playing you on that. When we get the 2 choices, I'm not picking that. I don't care what the other one is. We're just not doing it. You've got one. You've got one in your list.
Yeah.
And that's like the one that needs to stay.
When me and John play, and when he's running his Brotherhood, he's not getting Senators. Like, it's just, it's not going to happen.
I hear that little laugh.
I will pick any other extract over senators.
That's how I feel on the opposite end with like witnesses, or whatever the equivalent of it is now. I
Yeah.
don't want to play the
Yeah.
two secure game.
The Mayor Fisk witnesses one.
Yeah, I don't want to play
Yeah.
that as Brotherhood because I have so many models. So I play almost exclusively Mystique Brotherhood. So I go very wide. I'm usually like 7 models wide at like high points. And I want to be able to like use my leadership and stuff like that. So like it really doesn't work on 2 secures. I can't sticky one of those witnesses because it's never going to stay.
Yeah. That's one of the things I'm so excited about for Timeline. My favorite extract is back. Because I don't know if you looked at the Crisis in Timeline, Wyatt, but
I haven't. I'm not registered. What we got?
Some of the other ones came back.
They pretty much had no choice though, because you can't double down.
Yeah, you can't do
And
doubles.
if you
and there's
have
now
to take
15.
5 of each for each list, so that's 15 of each.
That's all but
there
3.
wasn't even enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
That's
wasn't
all but
enough.
3
so-
extracts, and that's all but 2 secures.
Yep. So they brought back Paranoia,
I
Yes,
love Paranoia.
which is my favorite extract.
God. AMG, I know you listen because you changed your heat rule and you changed timeline to exactly what I said.
Thank you for doing it, AMG.
Yeah.
Listen
I don't know
more.
why we got rid of Paranoia. Paranoia is so much fun, and it was such a great crisis. I don't know why we
Apparently, it
removed
scored too fast,
Whatever. That's a lie.
which is probably why I loved it. And then Ship Security Breach and Royal Rescue, which was
the
not
event one.
Yeah, that one's
Ooh.
in Timeline. And then on the secure side, Demons came back.
Hell yeah. I should have signed
And-
up for timelines, guys.
Dormammu's
Yeah.
in timeline this year too. He likes demons.
And which one was it? Strike Team Secure Shield Relay?
Yeah, it's something like that.
Nice.
So the 2 from the Gladiator pack that are not in normal rotation went into timeline.
That's awesome.
Is that what happened, Gary?
Yeah. There's 2. There's 1 each that were just the event ones went into
Gotcha.
it. And then there was 1 each that was rotated that came back for it.
Paranoia, I'm glad. I will
Demons and
definitely
Paranoia.
be playing Paranoia. I loved Paranoia. I played it with Shield. I loved it.
Yep. Demons is going to be brutal in Timeline.
Oh my God, I know. Well,
Paranoia
that's the thing
was
too.
a
It's like,
strong fan favorite, right?
the-
Of a lot of different things.
well, you got
which
the
is great.
double Hulks, so they're going to be everywhere.
You got Red Skull 2.
Mm-hmm.
Got Red Skull 2 on Demons. Ugh.
I'm telling you guys, Dormammu, he's going to be everywhere.
He's on my list of like, I haven't decided who my timeline 3 are, but because the problem is like I would be like, yep, Dormammu, I'm going to play him, but the people that I take with Dormammu are going to screw the other factions. So it's like I really got to figure out those first before I go, okay, I can play Dormammu. Because I was thinking about A-Force, but then if Jane goes with Dormammu, I basically can't play A-Force. And then if I was going to do Cabal with Kang, Zemo would probably be in Cabal, but I kind of want him at Dormammu. So there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Yeah. But yeah, just to cycle back to Crisis Selection real quick. I mean, I think the big first step is understanding what your team wants to do. Am I trying to score out in the first 3 turns, or am I trying to slow the game down to, take my opponent off the table?
I also feel like the 5th pick in your crises is almost like unfortunate. Not your guys' specific
Yeah.
5th, but like when I go through and I'm setting it up for Brotherhood or whatever, I feel like I'm very confident in 4 out of the 5. And then that 5th one is like, I really don't want to play this one, but I
Yeah.
have to pick 5 cards.
You just have to have a good poker face.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. And there's definitely ones that you're like, yeah, I'm definitely not taking those. Like I would never take witnesses in my Brotherhood.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but then I'll be stuck with like, I'll take 4 of them because I want no pay to flips. I only want secure, like
Correct.
straight up securing. The problem is there's only 4 of those. And then my fifth one is like, crap, what do I do now? And I have to just take something else and pray I don't get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
To add to that too, I think on the flip side, I think the biggest piece of this update for the scenarios, turn 0, etc., isn't just your 5, it's also your opponent's 2 that gets revealed to you, right?
Yeah.
You can now have the ability to never, ever play one scenario, right? So just as an example, this isn't true for me or anything like that. I'm just going to use Infinity Formula as the example. If I built a list and I was like, man, I lose every game on Infinity Formula. I don't have fun on Infinity Formula. It sucks. It's horrible. Cool. I never have to play on it. It's great. Whatever other card gets revealed by my opponent, I just choose it. I choose my
Yeah.
lesser 2 evils, right? So at that point, I think also whatever scenarios you're picking in your 5, if you have your 5 blues, you go, okay, of all the reds that are out there, which one specifically is going to suck the most? I need that mental note to just never pick that one.
Yeah.
What are my pairings with it? And I think that's what's kind of evolved more from the pick 3s. The pick 5s allows for a choice, which is nice.
The
Yeah,
funny
because-
part about this change is that this would have solved researcher.
Yep.
Yeah, instantly.
You know, like the
Researcher,
exact scenario.
Gamma.
The exact scenario you're stating where it's like, man, I really never that's how it was. I never wanted to play researcher ever again.
Yep.
And if we had just switched the crisis rules to this, I'd never have to play researcher again, essentially. And then you wouldn't have to have banned it.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. And I mean, Gary, agree with me here. Chant in the background. We got a crowd of Kingpin criminal syndicate players going, bring back researcher. That would have been my first extract I would have chosen. Absolutely. But exactly to
Yeah.
the point, my opponent would never choose that one.
Right. If I could get rid of it, I would just get rid of it every time. And then I don't think I'd feel as bad with it coming up, kind of thing, because I literally would never have to play it.
And it's nice now because, so before you would look at your opponent's 3 tactics cards when you're trying to decide if you want to do your blues or reds, and you would see something like researcher, and you'd be like, okay, no, I'm not taking your reds. I'm taking my blues, instantly.
Yes.
But now you're looking at their 5 going, is there 2 in here that I am absolutely against? Because if there's only 1, I just don't have to pick it. So there has to be 2 for me to be like, oh, absolutely not taking them. So it gives a little more leniency on, do I want to take your blues, your reds, you can play the odds a little better.
Exactly. I mean, it's all down to chance too, right? I think that the only gripe that I have with how the ruling is worded on the 2 that get selected from the 5, it's the person that owns those cards that takes out the 5. I trust people that I play with until given a reason not to. I'm there to have fun over be competitive, but I play competitively. We've seen it. Unfortunately, there's always going to be those horses that ride around, but people could specifically be like, oh, I know exactly what these 2 cards are, and these are the ones I want to play against my opponent, right? So that can get odd. But to the point of when you're selecting your scenarios, for your 5 reds and your 5 blues, those need to be ones that you can play all of them, period. You can't have it otherwise. If you give your opponent the chance to draw the one that you're not prepared for, that's the one they're going to choose. If they really look at your list, that's the one they're going to choose. If they got wrinkles in their brain, they're choosing that one. Now, the other thing is when you're looking at your opponent's stat on, Gary, your point, if my opponent has 2 blues that I absolutely hate, but they have 1 red that I hate, I'm choosing their reds. I don't care which blues or reds I'm taking because I should be prepared to do all of them. If it's a scenario, however, where you got to play the statistics. Oh, those are 2 blues that I don't want. Those are 3 reds that are going to kick my ass. I'm picking their blues, man. I don't care if those 2 come up, but
my God, all of your blues are low scoring attrition ones, and you have a couple good reds. I'm like, well, I'll just take my blues then. It's just
exactly.
It really depends, and like you said, just playing the odds and being like, which of these am I giving myself the best chance? And I think it's a little more, you have a little more agency now, which is great. I mean, you have a lot more agency now. You can just flat out shut out one extract or secure.
Back to what Wyatt was saying for like when you're picking, I know the rules do say that like you pick out your two. So like if I'm using my extracts, I flip two cards and those are the two cards that we're playing. I don't know about everybody else, but I always just fan my cards out and I let my opponent pick two, so it's as random as it could possibly be. I've
Yeah.
only had one time where someone specifically said we don't do it that way and made me like flip my own card. Any other game I've ever played, it's always been like you pick two, even though the rules say otherwise.
Yeah. I think the MCP community as a whole, and here's where I'm going to bash my hammer at Warhammer. I love our community so much around this game. It's kept me playing for the 6 years that it's been out,
Yeah.
man. I
Like-
love it.
99% of them.
Yeah, 99% of them, you'll get that. When somebody says we don't do it that way, I'm also okay with that.
Yeah.
I've actually been urging my local community to be like, hey, be prepared for, you're going to get a person that does this. If you're going to go to conventions, if you're going to go play competitively, you're probably unfortunately going to come across that person, and that's okay. But be ready for it. So at that point, it's, hey, I want to eliminate my randomness. Only if you do the randomness, negotiate with your opponent, but not in a way that puts yourself above what they're pulling out. But literally just go, I've got to die. I've got a D6. I count left to right. I'm gonna let you roll the die. Go for it. So I'm bringing a D6 to Adepticon, guys. I'm doing that. I want
Yeah.
my opponents to have a fun time. If they wallop me, rightfully so, that's awesome. As long as they're a good person. I'm there for fun. But I understand that some people are there. They want to get their rankings. They want to boost them. They want to play as good as they can, and no knock at all.
You know, Wyatt, if you
But
use a
careful that
D10, you don't have to worry about like re-rolling.
I forget there's math in this game, Gary, but you're so right. Wait a minute.
One D&D player to another.
Wait.
A D10,
cooking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
I'm
10.
making myself a note to pack the D10.
So with the guy that like made me flip my own cards, I don't really care either way. I just think that I think it's just better just to let your opponent pick two randomly because they don't know what your cards are. It's as random as it could be. But I agree with you that there's somebody out there who has, basically marked their cards and is like, oops, got the
Yeah.
ones I wanted every time.
Shucks.
It will happen. There is a person that exists, minimally one. And also, not knocking AMG at all on the ruling. I love the fact that turn 0 is different. That was the one thing consecutively for years that was always the same. It felt like how I construct and think about turn 0 has never changed up until they changed all of these rulings. And not only to that point, I've got Montesi formula as an extract. That's 3 points. And that's, for those that remember it, it's the E shape. Who's grabbing that middle? I don't know. I don't even know when I deploy. I don't even know what character I want to safe grab it because I don't know if I'm going to win that roll. Right? So at that point, it's like, you got to really measure and think. It's more of, the game has adapted more in the beginning, more of, I'm going to do the same Ooga Ooga turn 0 to turn 1 move that I do every time at 17, 18, 19 threat on X scenario. Right? Now it's, how am I going to respond to my opponent if they beat me in that role?
Yeah.
And I think that's a healthy spot for the game.
If I set up this for safe grab, is it putting me out of position to do a turn 2 if I don't win that second priority roll? And, so it's like, oh, great, I put my guy here. He's going to go grab the middle. Oh, my opponent wins. He grabs the middle. Great. What's this guy set up for now? Can I even reach the side? Oh, no, I can't reach the side. Crap, I should have thought about that. There's so many turn 1 misplays now that I've made where I'm just like, oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I love it, man. I love the literally sitting there and going, okay, here's the possibilities tree. As opposed to, all right, Kingpin double walks to the point.
Yeah.
Bullseye holds the back point. We're going to have such and such lawn mover grab the safe grab, right? It goes. And at that point, too, I mean, Gary, you and I play an affiliation that has grunts. We got Shadowland or Electra that has the ninjas. They're an extract grabber.
Yep, I was just going to say that.
You got the Fury grunts.
That's what I was waiting for. Bring it up.
100%, man.
Messed up Fury.
it completely nerfed the extract grunts, but in a
Yeah.
way of like, thank goodness, honestly, because they're really good grunts. I love both of them. I think the shield grunts are better. Hot take, but
No,
it's
they are. There's no odd take about it.
I don't bring them at all anymore because I can't sit there and guarantee it. If I don't win that roll after I deploy the grunts, man, what am I gonna do? Just body block with them?
Now, I still think the grunts are good on like hammers because you can position them where they can either go out on a flank or
Yes.
if your opponent grabs the flank first, then they can go to the middle, like the back one, grab it, and then shadow vanish or ninja vanish and pass it back to somebody so that person doesn't have to waste their turn trying to pick up the hammer and doing something. So, like, there is plays for the grunt still, but I agree. It's not so much like it's not just, oh, I'm going to set up Shadowlands on the left and his grunts on the right, and turn one, I'm going to run them both forward and pick up both extracts. Like, because now, oh, wait, I'm going second. Oh, you ran up and grabbed the one extract. Oh, now what is my grunts going to do? Or now Shadowland can't get that one, so only my grunts are going to have one, or,
Yeah.
Well, I had the problem now of like since the first turn is shifted, I'd splash Fury in a lot of stuff because I'd be like, well, I'm going first, so I'll spend 4 points on my splash for Fury. Since I'm going first, I know I'm going to go ahead by 2 extracts. But now it changes how you even just build your roster because taking Fury, unless you had like an alternate plan for him, you weren't just using him for those extract grabs, you're in trouble.
Right.
So I think his splashability goes down a little bit because of that. I still think he's super strong.
Mm-hmm. Well, with that health increase too, and the fact that he has a great tactic card for defensive tech, I think it's
That
fantastic.
was the weirdest thing. I'm still
Yeah.
not like over that.
Please, AMG, please errata Shadowland. I want him to be a playable 4 threat on his own.
I think
not
we're
just
gonna.
on his
I
own.
think at Adepticon we're gonna get changes.
That'd be nice.
I think that might be a large part of the reveal is updates to certain characters. I just
Sinister.
can't. Yeah, but I can't see the like reveals being new characters because we have so many so far ahead. It has to be something, and I feel like it's going to be fixes because there's a lot of fixes that need to happen.
There's also a lot of repoxing too that still haven't released, and I think they've slowed it a little bit based on the timeline that they had. Now, one thing too, to go back to the grunts on like a quick 5-second tangent, the grunts that we're talking about are the ninjas and the shield, right? They're the extract grabbers. Both of those have, excluding Electra, I wish she was a little better, but Shadowland and Fury have leaderships. So now it's like such a head game, right? Like John,
Yeah.
when you're playing shield, you're sitting there and you're thinking, when am I taking Fury and do I want Fury here? Now it's gone down because you can sit there and if it were simply like, okay, I know when I have priority or not, and then I'll choose my leadership, that's still really hard to do. That's incredibly hard to do. I'm not sure if you sit there and go, well, we'll see if I win priority or not, and then I'll choose my leadership. I don't even know if that's even influence. I assume it's not. I assume it's
It
not
doesn't
influence.
affect me because I think if I was going Fury's leadership, I would have a different roster, like a different team selected than if I was definitely going Namor's leadership.
Yeah.
So usually I'll just be like, oh, well, what secure are we playing and what extract are we playing? And then it's most of the time it's been Namor lately. But I do think that Fury's leadership is good, and I probably should take like another whack at it, especially with like the little bit of health updates and whatnot. I hope War Machine gets something.
That'd be superb.
I think War Machine could use that extra health. That would have been like the person to give it to so he could get on the table because he's a cool model. I don't think he's horrible. His beam's horrible, but
So maybe he won't kill himself as much.
yeah, exactly. Let's fix that. And then I think he's pretty solid. I used to use him for a long time, but that's good to think about how you get your crises and everything, like why you need to get them, what you're looking for. There's a lot to it, and I think that you have to go through and play. That's like the best way to figure it out. Play, and even if you guys aren't picking, like if you're trying to figure out what you want to take, go to your local store with your local group, be like, hey, I haven't had a chance to play Spider Infected. I want to see if my team's any good at Spider Infected. Kid, do you mind? And there's no way that somebody's gonna be like, nah, we're doing it the right way. And then I'm gonna deny you Spider Infected every time so you don't get to play it. But just you got to play it. I think that's a big thing, and it reminds me of like tactics cards, where you'll take tactics cards and you'll play them and you'll think they're good, but then at the end of the game, if you haven't used those tactics cards, they might not be the tactics cards you should be taking. So then that's when you're like, I think this is really good. It's really good, but it never comes up. And if it never comes up, maybe it's time to go. And so like with Crisis, if you're not scoring it and the Crisis isn't benefiting you, it's time to go and find something else.
Or if your opponent plays it a lot better.
That's true too.
Yeah. If I could add to that too, John, also, not enough of you guys are doing it. Most of the listeners are out there also. Not enough of you are doing it. Play the new Secure, play the new Extract. They're still new. Play the
I'm
Pez
playing
dispenser,
Jailbreak
man.
like
Play
crazy.
Jailbreak.
Yeah.
Learn if you hate it or love it. I
Mystique
personally
loves it.
don't like it. Yeah, and there's affiliations that love it. Be wary of that one and actually force yourself to play it. Play it with other Secures, and you'll learn if you like it or not. Don't just do the two new ones together.
Different shaped Secures.
Yes, 100%.
If you come up against that Brotherhood Mystique and they have Jailbreak, that's the one you get rid of.
Yeah, if they have Jailbreak and Senators, just try not to get their heads.
Do Senators, man. Senators will be a lot kinder to you.
Oh yeah,
I'll take Jailbreak over Senators against them.
Jailbreak is I have first class every turn.
Yep.
Essentially.
The thing is still Jailbreak. I can still they're going to get their 2 for free every turn, but they're probably still only going to get 2 because it's still going to go back and forth. Senators is just too many, and they're going to go so wide, and they're going to have 4 of the Senators, and you're just going to be SOL.
Yes.
Yep. So I think that's everything we can think about for like how you select your crises and basically build up your roster, practice. But there's definitely like things that each affiliation wants to do. X-Men like pay to flips. I like straight secures with wide like objectives and stuff. You guys want to play score quick, lower objectives, and even points wise is another thing to probably take into consideration. I don't think it's as much as it used to be.
No.
I'd say no.
But there was definitely a time where like you wanted that 15 and that's all you wanted. And it didn't matter what you got, but as long as you got 15, you were pretty like solid. And I do think there's a little bit of that still in there. Like I would rather play high than low, but I'm fine with playing low because I don't think the low is as low as it was before. I mean, we're talking about we played back in 14 days. What crisis was that?
Oh, the 14th, right? Oh,
yeah,
man.
there was a
Back
14.
in my day,
There was one 14.
Was that Sword Base? No, that was 15.
No, it came with like the X-Men packs. I remember that. That's how old it is.
that got changed from 14 to, I believe, 15 or 16.
215. I
right?
think it was Sword Base.
That sounds right.
And I think Sword Base was 14 and it went to 15.
Was it not Herbs?
No, Herbs is 15.
Herbs was way earlier. Maybe it was Sword Base then. But yeah, 14 was woof.
They kept manipulating Sword Base to make it work. Multiple iterations, and it just wasn't working. I'm sure it was Sword.
Saying Jarvis, it just says it's out of rotation.
Yeah. No, other versions still show it as... Oh, threat level increased from 14 to 15 on December 9th, 2022.
Now Sword.
Yeah.
That was Sword.
Yeah. Poof, man, 14. That is a rough number. That sucked. And I'm glad we've gotten away from it. Man, that means 15 is back in timeline because you said... Oh, Gamma's not in timeline.
No,
What's it
Demons
called?
is.
Demons is. Oh, okay. So 15's not back.
15 is not.
No. Nope, there's no 15s. There's the 3 16s, and they're all secures.
Pummel's is 16 as well.
Well, then you got 3 secures, 1 extract, right?
Yeah.
So you might have a lot of 16s in timelines.
That's not horrible. I think 16 was a nice place to cut it off.
Yeah.
To go to 20. Because I think it's very playable for everybody where even that 1 point, like 15 was rough and like 14 was even rougher where you just couldn't play some stuff.
Yeah.
But yep, get lots of practice in, try out those crises. If you're going to Adepticon, you got 2.5 months. Not even. I'm way off on that. Because you have all of February, and then so you have a month and
You got like 2 months.
a week. No, you don't. You have
A
like a
little
month and a
less than
week.
2.
When's
Get your reps in.
Adepticon?
20th, right? Or is it the 25th? It's 25th.
Okay, so you got January
and
to
a half?
February, February to March.
It begins the
So you
26th.
got like a month and a week.
26th through 29th.
That's what I said, a month and a week.
There's math with our game. We're good at it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was like, you're way off.
No, actually,
You got to
it's
expedite your time, Gary.
2 months and 13 days. 2 months and 11 days.
Here.
So it's
Alexa,
like right
how
there.
many days away is March 20? That actually doesn't help me. Now I got to do other math.
No, that's 2 months and a week.
No, 'cause you
70
figure
days as of recording.
January to February 15th, February to March 15th, and then 11 days. So
Yep.
a week and a half.
Okay, so I'm off by a whole month.
So listeners, by
Yeah.
the time you're listening, it is less than that time.
I'm
Get
cutting
your
out
shit
all our
together.
bad.
Get your reps in. Edit
It'll
this.
roughly be 2 months by the time this is out.
Have Sean do a voiceover of perfect math algorithm, depending on when people click play.
Cut out
Oh,
all
you
this
see.
horribleness right here. Well, with Adepticon coming up, we have coming up here soon, February 13th, we'll be getting some new characters. We just got some character reveals. We went over Valkyrie previously because we had her in our A-Force tier list. You can check that out over on our YouTube. We saw the front of her. We assumed the back was the same. We find out the back is the same. But we did just get the character card for the Warriors 3. Have you all had a chance to look at that card?
Yes.
Yes.
So the Warriors 3 is a 3-cost character on a large base, moves small, 3/3/3 defense, 5 health on both sides, has a bunch of different attacks, similar to like how Wrecking Crew is working, I feel like, but slightly different at the same time. They have a 0-cost, range 2, 5 dice, hands out stun. They have another 0-cost that's range 3 for 4 dice, hands out bleed and pierce. They have their spender, but their spender adds, so it's 4 power for 4 dice, but you add the character's cost. So that could be some massive dice pools right there. You punch an outdoor Mamu there, 12 dice. Yeah. 12 dice with the potential to hand out a stagger on two skulls and a wild.
And 3 additional damage on
And
top
3
of
additional
itself.
damage. Gee whiz. This is also like a prime attack for a recal because you can keep the skull. I got the 2 skulls. I didn't get that wild though. Whoop. They have an active ability. Which one is that? This
You got to
character
say
may
the names of
only
these, John.
perform-
These are great.
Fuck that, man. Holy shit.
You didn't practice
Yeah,
these?
these names are crazy. But the active, I'm not saying the attack names. I'm going to butcher the shit out of those. The active power is strike 1 for Volstagg. This character may immediately perform an attack with a cost of 0, targeting an enemy within 2. After the attack is resolved, if this attack contained any skulls, you suffer 1 damage. So just 1 straight damage, not 1 per skull. But for 2 power, you're getting an extra attack out of your turn, and you're an Asgardian, so you're generating an extra power. So you're basically having an extra action every activation. That's pretty good. You have a reactive. My steel shall strike for thee. After the attack targeting this character is resolved, this character may use the superpower. If the attacker's within 3, you may make a Blordog attack.
Fimbuldrager!
Yeah, whatever that is. You can make your gainer attack. So it's like a clapback. They have Grim Resolve. When this character suffers damage from enemy attack, after the attack is resolved, this character may advance short towards the attacker. If you do advance, after the advance is resolved, you remove 1 damage from it. So you don't have DR, you have like Apocalypse's thing almost.
Just be careful around trap lists, but that is really good, especially because an advance can be not the full stick. You can just boop.
Yeah.
Right. But that makes up for like the small movement and the short ranged on attacks too. He's same on the other side, same health, same everything on the other side. What do we think of the Warriors 3?
I'm not super big on them. I mean, they're okay. Nothing on there is like, oh my God, that's going to be amazing. Like, they have to be attacked for their movement. And I mean,
it's not like they can force you to attack them.
it's just hard because I'm comparing them to Wrecking Crew in my head, and I'm trying not to.
You know what's crazy about them? So they're Asgardians, right? They're essentially gods. Not that they're gods themselves, but they live with gods and whatnot. And they're a 3 cost. Where like the Wrecking Crew is just like a bunch of goobers.
Well,
They're a 4 cost.
They got
They're
that
each
as
1
Guardian crowbar, man. That's what carries them.
That's crazy.
It's 1 point per model.
Wait,
I guess. But
Math
it
is in
is
the
crazy
game.
to think of.
Yeah.
But they do have a lot going on their card. 4, that's the thing. I think the problem is you're comparing them to a 4 cost.
I know, and that's why I'm saying I'm trying not to, and I'm trying to realign myself to be like, no, this is a 3. But it's like a basic physical attacker with not any like reroll really. And I just can't see myself feeling good being like, oh, what'd you do? I rolled 5 dice, then I rolled 4 dice, then I rolled 4 dice, and I might have done a damage to myself.
Well, it'll never be just 4 dice for the spender. Never. It'll always be
Yeah.
at least 6.
Well, I'm saying like if you don't do the spender, because like the extra attack is a 0 cost.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like Hogarden, Filmburger, and then Filmburger, or some combination of those. And I hope I'm not like offending anyone, but like,
I wish I
have
was
no
good at
idea.
editing.
As
And I could
Guardians, you're
just,
offending.
I wish I could just edit in like the Swedish chef. Like every time we had to say the name.
I mean, if we upload the video, John, you got to put a Swedish chef on yours right now. As soon as we start talking about
that would
them.
be my video the whole time. So they do have a tactics card specifically for them, and only if you're playing Asgard, called Warrior's Oath. When another allied Asgard character attacks an enemy character, after that attack is resolved, an allied Warriors 3 within 3 of that allied character may spend 2 to 6 power to play this card. Place the Warriors 3 within 1 of the allied character. Then for each 2 power paid to play this card, choose a different effect below to resolve. Completely resolve each effect before moving on to the next. So there's Fandrel's Biting Wit. So choose an enemy character within 2 of the Warriors 3. It gains shocked and stunned. Hogun's Elixir of Recovery. Choose an allied character within 2 of the Warriors 3. Remove 2 damage from that chosen character. Volstag's Courage. Choose up to 2 other allied characters within 2 of the Warriors 3, and they each gain 1 power.
I'm going to hold my comments until the other tactic card as well, because I think I'm going to differ from Gary's opinion on a lot of these. But Gary, I'm curious on your thoughts.
I don't think it makes your 5. There's too many other choices, especially in Asgard.
That's the thing, is like, it's just, they're in a very good affiliation. And like, I was just like scrolling through other 3s, and there's a lot of 3s that aren't even played anymore that I'm just like, they're just like, OG Winter Soldier is just way better. Obviously Zemo's better, but Zemo's like one of the best 3s ever. Like Valkyrie, I'm taking a 3-point Valkyrie like over them. And then I like go, well, now I'm taking a card that's like, okay, like I'm taking a character that's okay. Do I want to also take a tactics card attached to that character that's okay?
But you're also like, it's 2 to 6 power. Like, I get you get it per thing, but that means then you're not doing your spender, then you're not doing your free attack, and you're not doing your clapback.
Yeah.
Instead, to just hand out. I could see you doing 2 power to be like, all right, I'm gonna do 2 power to hand out shock and stun. I'm vastly against healing in this game, so I don't like that one.
It's also like healing for a 5 health character with 3 defense, no rerolls, no defensive tech. Like,
well, you're healing the ally. You're not healing the Warriors 3.
Or you're healing the ally.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, choose an ally within 2.
The Warriors 3 are paying the cost, but you're healing an ally. But you could only do.
I don't know. Pay 2 to heal
Much.
2. I mean, that's like a baby, not field.
Yeah, but it's a
dressing.
tactics card.
Well, I'm saying like the other tactics card. Like, what is the other
Yeah.
tactics card that I'm trying to think of here?
What are you talking patch up?
Yeah, patch it up. It's like a baby patch up.
Yeah.
When it's worse than Battlefield Medicine.
Oh, yeah. By far. Because Battlefield Medicine is heal 3 and remove a condition.
Yeah, like they should have made it like heal 3.
I think because you have so many things that you can chain on this. If I have 6 power, like let's say I'm getting walloped, Warriors 3 flips, they're going to have enough power. If I'm looking at this and go, man, I can't wait to give the guy that beat the living shit out of my team shock and stun. We're going to heal a Loki, a new Valkyrie, or a Thor 2 health. And then not only that, I'm gonna give them more power, especially Loki, for oh my, what a pity. In my mind, specifically an Asgard affiliation, and I'm not branching out to like splashing this guy because I have not thought that far ahead yet. He just got revealed. But to me, I mean, you can only play this in Asgard anyway. But to me, honestly, this is if someone decides to beat the crap out of the 3, they can actually like assist the rest of their team.
I feel
So
like you want
that's my initial fart. Oops, it came out. It is. I was gonna say it's a bit of a fart compared to their next card. I like their next.
Well, they only have 1 card. Are you talking about Deeds of the Worthy?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I mean the one that's revealed next. That came with them.
Oh, I got you.
Deeds of
Okay.
the Worthy. Yes, that's technically in
but
their box.
to go
Not
back to like
associated
the
with it.
Warriors 3, I don't think you want to, even if you flip, do you really want to spend 6 power on this card rather than probably attacking twice with your spender?
The range 2 spender. I don't know. It depends. Sometimes I'm thinking like if, oh man, I got beat and I got knocked out of position. All right, well, I'm going to move into the position and make them pay for that by healing the rest of
Yeah.
my team, benefiting them, that kind of a thing. But this card to me, compared to their kit is more, they got 2 parts of their kit that says, you don't want to attack me because if you whiff, it's going to be bad. Because they can advance toward you and maybe heal the 1 damage that they took, which happens a lot. I don't know about your guys' games, but I usually very commonly only deal that 1 damage. You know, I can Helios with 30 dice, man. I'm getting 1. It's just how it happens.
Just
The
enough.
Kingpin's my safe space. Of course, all the time. In my mind, I'm thinking, oh yeah, man, if I dealt 1 damage to Warriors 3, now they move short and heal that. Man, that sucks. That sucks so bad. But not only that, I mean, the fact that they can clap back, that short advance, they can move within range and clap back most of the time, statistically.
Yeah, they're
That's
just
my
clapping.
thought. This card for me is deterrent.
They're clapping back with 4 dice though, and it's like they even made their pierce like a wild and a hit. Like they couldn't even give them just a wild pierce. Like would that have broke the character?
I just don't think it gets played because you're in competition with the card we're going to talk about next. You have Odin's Blessing, you have Rainbow Bridge. If you're playing Loki, you probably have Trickster's Boon or Giant's Blood. And then you have your restricted cards.
Yeah.
I just don't think it gets played.
I think because it's Asgard specific, that's what makes it difficult.
Yeah.
I think it would have a lot of belonging in other lists, other affiliations. I think exactly to your point, John. I don't think it's great just being locked into Asgard. I think it's a decent card otherwise only because of its variability of so many things that you could choose to do with it.
Put them
But besides that, that's really it. Yeah. We needed it in Sam. We needed it in Steve.
Well, I think it's really odd that it's locked into Asgard. And then like we were talking about earlier, the Wrecking Crew. Their cards are not locked to an affiliation.
Nope, it's locked to them.
Yeah, and that's how this card should be, is it should be locked to them. And then I think if it's locked to them and they're a 3 cost, this isn't bad.
Love to ask like the designers and just be like, what made you go, this is an Asgard card? Like, was there something about it that was broken somewhere else?
I bet you if you're playing a super wide list in some sort of way, this card can be very good.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, like let's say you're doing this in webs, okay? And you're like, well, I get to move towards my web warriors. I get to give them power, which they want. I get to heal them. And I'm going to make it harder for my opponents to even hurt me, which is already a pain in the butt. So like maybe that's what it is it just was too good to not be Asgard only, but then it suffers from the problem of, well, now it's Asgard only, now it'll never see play.
Or in Steve 1, where you're able to start conserving your power because you're gaining 2
Right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
only
There's a
using
bunch of
1 for your
places.
extra attack. And yeah.
Dormammu
But
or
when it
Steve 1 having, I mean, their superpowers are too
Dormammu.
fast, right? Yeah,
Dark
exactly.
Dimension.
I mean, man, are you kidding? Dark
'Cause they can
Dimension
also
them
be
back
brought
and then
back,
play
right?
this to heal Dormammu? Man,
Yeah.
yeah, you
hell
can
no.
bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card could be a staple 10 in so many different things. I think it has to be Asgard lock. Of course,
See,
there's so many variables that I'm sure everybody has different
right.
opinions on. I mean, us three have different opinions, the listeners will have different opinions, but I think overall it seems that they were trying to design a Warriors Oath card to the characters. And it works. I love the names of it. Volstag's Courage, Hogan's Elixir of Recovery, and Fandrel's Biting Wit. Those are the names of the 3 characters. They were going for a
Oh, yeah.
flavor card, right?
Very themey card, but I think it hurts them from even getting played in Asgard.
Yeah.
You know, because Asgard has a lot of good options right now. And like Gary said, you know, do you just play Valkyrie, you know, or do you just play something else over them? And it's like, well, they have this card. It's like, well, you know, if this card wasn't locked to Asgard, I think Warriors 3 sees play in other affiliations. But without that card, do they see play in other affiliations? You know, are they still splashable? I don't really know. It sucks because it's such a cool model. I really like these large bases with multiple characters on them. Like, I love the Wrecking Crew model. It's one of my favorite models AMG's ever made. And I hope they continue with like this kind of theme of things. And it sucks because then I feel like they're not going to see the table.
Howling Commandos, the OGs.
Howling Commandos were the one exception to this rule. I don't care for the Howling Commandos. I think they're very boring.
And the grunts, the shield grunts. God.
Well, I like the shield grunts.
But they're
I like all the
cool.
grunts.
I love the grunts. Love the grunts.
I
They
think
feel the most dynamic.
Ninjas are the worst ones when it comes to fiddly bits.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If I had $1 for every time I opened up my case and my ninja was broke off.
But
I had $1
I
for
really
every time I
like
glued
all
my
of them.
hands
And I'm
together,
okay
yeah.
with them being boring because they're grunts versus like the Wrecking Crew. They look great on the thing. And these guys being all different colors too are going to look great. Where the Howling Commandos suffer is the Howling Commandos just look like grunts.
They just look
There's
like army
nothing
guys.
unique about each of them. And I think that was a mistake.
I do like the Ultron grunts a lot.
Oh yeah, they're really cool. I saw a guy, I wanted to make this conversion so bad. There's a guy took the grunts and he put the grunts under Ultron, almost like he was riding them like a wave. And they like came around him, like swarmed around him. So he must have bought multiple packs and stuff to do it. It
It's a
was
lot of core
super
boxes.
cool looking. But back to the cards. So we have the other card that's going to come in this box is Deeds Worthy of Song. This is an Asgard only card. This is a long card, by the way. Get ready. During the power phase, an allied Asgard character may play this card. When this card is played, set it near the battlefield instead of discarding it. The first time each of the following conditions is met, put 1 Worthy Deeds token on this card. Slay the monster. An allied character KOs an enemy character that has a cost of 5 or more. Drive out the invaders. 2 or more enemy characters are dazed or KO'd by collisions during an allied character's activation. Protect the small. An allied character dazes or KOs 2 or more enemy characters during its activation and ends that activation within 2 of another allied character that has a cost of 2 or less. God.
Splasher 2s.
Yikes. That one really threw me off. I didn't read that 2 cost before. Ragnarok, an allied character is dazed or KO'd, and 2 or more other allied characters have been dazed or KO'd this round. If this card was played during the cleanup phase, you may remove 2 Worthy Deeds tokens from this card and discard it. If you do, you score 2 victory points. This is a lot like Spider-Man Noir's card, but more complicated. And it's kind of like the Hydra card.
High Council.
Yeah, where you have to do all that goofy stuff.
Yeah.
But you have to do all the goofy stuff.
To me, I am absolutely a hater on Terra Genesis based on how easy a setup could be with that card. This has 2 victory point scores similar to Terragenesis. I love this card. I think there's, again, down to the variable thing. You have possibilities, but I think also what I'm going to do, I would love to talk about the character card after we talk about these, mainly because I have some opinions that I think differ from Gary's, but also share a lot of the same personal ones. This card, to me, if I squint hard enough and don't read the full text, it doesn't seem that great. This card to me feels like a deterrent card. I'm sitting here. Most Asgard players are going to have a 2-threat. You need to have a 2-threat. You don't have an affiliated one. You've got to have one. That's for point values. That's for bringing things onto the field. That's your squad, right? You need to have 2. It's usually a runner for Asgard, or it's a protector like a Koye or something, or like a Wand. Or honestly, I've seen more Black Widow 2s in Asgard than anywhere else that there's a Black Widow 2. In this, drive out the invaders, I think is very interesting. 2 or more enemy characters are dazed or KO'd. Well, you've got Loki, you've got Valkyrie, you've got this 3-threat character that's released that's going to be an attacking character. You've got Thor 1 and 2. You've got some great heavy hitters in Asgard. It's actually pretty likely that you're going to be dazing some 3-threat models. That's fantastic.
Yeah, but you have to do it by collisions.
A lot of them have throws though.
But it has to be during one single activation.
Yes.
So like you have to get, let's say we're using Thor 2. So Thor 2 has to throw you with his attack as well as basically throw terrain at you or throw you into another character, KOing both of those characters.
Yes. Now on the flip side too, and exactly to your point, John, exactly to your point, it has to be through one activation through a collision. So you have to be colliding 2 people together. You have to knock heads. I think drive out the invaders could pair with Ragnar. And when I say that, I mean throw your enemy into your ally. Do it to gain 2 victory points. If you're throwing it, how often are you going to play a game where your Thor, your Loki, whomever, your important model on the field is purposefully left at 1 health because your opponent's like, oh, I'm just going to knock you out next round? The number of times I played against Asgard specifically, the number of times my enemy's Bill or Thor have had something thrown into them by their other Bill or Thor so that they flip next round, that makes me scream. I've had it done 4 times at conventions. Four times. 3 of them were Bills and 1 was a Thor, a two thrower.
I mean, Hero of
Ragnarok
You could
Midgard,
do that.
Hero of
your 2
Midgard
victory
can
points.
throw himself into someone.
He doesn't suffer collision, but
He doesn't.
I've had him collide with a Bill specifically.
Yeah.
The 3 times it happened was because Thor threw himself into a Bill.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if he throws himself into someone that's at like 1 health and then throws something else, but that's 7 power. Like, that's a lot.
I think
feel like
Slay
with
the
him, we could
Monster
cut
is
it.
your guaranteed one almost.
Yes.
You're going to get Slay the Monster. So then from there, you're looking at the other ones. For Ragnarok, grunts.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to take Ultron 2, I mean, he's expensive in Asgard, of course, kind of thing. But, like, Ultron 2 can do the collision part of it plus the Ragnarok part of it, essentially, with his grunts by, like, throwing them into things and whatnot.
Even Furier than hand ninjas. I mean, just low health pool, low physical defense. It's really good. And also, I feel like Fury is probably one of the most splashed parent to grunt characters in the game. I would say pretty confidently.
If you were to, let's say we start the round. I play Ultron 2. I have his grunts out. His grunts go up. His grunts die. So that's 1. And then I throw terrain. The grunts come back. Someone else goes Warriors 3. Eat a bag of shit during the game during that round. So that's 2. And then your grunts die again. Does that count as 3? Because if that's essentially what you have to do.
Are you saying in this scenario, John, for my clarification, are you saying that the grunts die twice for Ragnarok?
That's what I'm wondering is, like, do the grunts count each time? Because it's through the full round. It's not like it's one activation. So it's activating everything. So, like, even Hydra is also like Red Skull 2 is another option here where you can send the Hydra Troopers forward, or the Hydra Troopers die before you activate Red Skull. Red Skull activates, the Hydra Troopers pop back out. You use the Hydra Troopers ability that they move forward, shoot, die. So that's 2. And then you would only need 1 allied character to get dazed.
The Hydra Assault ability.
Why is it worded this way?
It's worded odd, right?
Why doesn't it just say 3 or more allied characters have been dazed or KO'd this round?
Right, I agree. That's why I'm trying to like look at it, because it's worded funny.
So I think, and this is where firstly, I think the grunts thing, John, that's fantastic. I think that's an FAQ. That's got to go on the FAQ, 100%, because that's a great question. Because if that's the case, Red Skull 5 gets more stock. Red Skull 5 is going with Asgard, man, because he can just suicide the grunts.
Right, and I think
then
the
throw
same
them
thing
back,
with
right?
Ultron is almost in the same boat, because he
Yeah.
can really do the drive out the invaders one as well.
And specifically with this wording, though, to your point, just diving in on 2 or more other allied characters. Now, I want to point out that the Asgardian that plays this card, if they daze or KO, they do not contribute to this counter. That is the one piece, right? The second piece is 2 or more. If this card only said dazed or KO'd 2 allied characters, well, if your opponent dazes 3, that's not 2.
Yeah, it's
So I think
weird
they
that
have
it
to
says
allow it, right?
an allied character is dazed or KO'd, and 2 or more other allied characters have been dazed or KO'd this round. Why doesn't it just say 3 or more characters are dazed or KO'd this round? Why did it split it up to 1 and then 2 additional?
Right, because they're all allied characters. There's no different
Right.
difference between them. This is an odd card.
Unless it's saying like the first one could be the person that played the card, because the person that plays the card is allied to himself.
Oh,
And
okay.
then 2 or more
I don't
others.
I don't know why it's this specific thing, and I feel like in play testing there was a reason. I'm gonna split it in 2, and the 2 happens after the comma in Ragnarok. An allied character is dazed or KO'd. It doesn't say that round. That can be at any point in the game. Additionally, 2 or more other allied characters, can't be the same character, have been dazed or KO'd this round.
Meaning the round that
Yes. So the round it was played, 2 or more other allied characters have been dazed or KO'd this round. An allied character is dazed or KO'd could be any other time before or additional. So my question for the FAQ is, can we just have 3 characters dazed or KO'd this round and that works? Or does it have to be an allied character is dazed or KO'd already and 2 or more characters are this round?
Good Lord. So if that's the way it works, okay. First turn, you have, let's use the ninjas as an example for this one. So first turn, the ninjas go out, they grab an extract, you ninja vanish. Bam, there's your daze or KO done for the first part of it. Then all you have to do is wait for another turn to kill the ninjas again and lose 1 character.
No, because the
And you do
2
that
have to be dazed the round
During
that
the
it's
round
played.
the card is played.
It doesn't have to be this. Yeah. That's what I'm saying is then the ninjas come back out another round. So now we're on turn 2. The ninjas die again, and then you have 1 other person.
No, because
Dazed.
so if you play it turn 1, 2 characters would have to daze or KO turn 1.
Round
This
2.
just stays off to the battlefield. It doesn't matter what turn. This isn't only for 1 turn.
No, but that's what I think Wyatt was saying. Don't let me put words in your mouth, but it's split up into 2. An allied character is dazed or KO'd, comma. 2 or more other allied characters have been dazed or KO'd this round. This round, Dora is referring to the round that the card is played in the power phase.
Technically,
no, I don't think that's right. You're wrong there.
So, John, to your point at the very top of the card, set it near the battlefield instead of discarding it. This card is active when it's near the battlefield. That is what it's referring to. So, yep, 100%. But, Gary, I had that confusion, too, when I first read this, where, damn, it's all got to happen at the exact same time when I play it, and that's the hard part. This card, as soon as you play it, you should play this thing immediately. First activation, this needs to be played because you don't exactly know when these are going to happen. That is my tip for all of this. But specifically, John, I was thinking the hand ninjas too, because they just get to off themselves as soon as they pick up an extract.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
first
the
activation,
hyper troopers
right?
do the same thing. Like everybody
Exactly.
almost just offs themselves. So if grunts count, grunts might be
Exactly.
the way to go. I do think it's odd too that like it says during the power phase an allied Asgard character plays this card. So like the only time you wouldn't be able to play it is if you're playing Asgard and you made it all the way down and you only have your splash characters left, then you couldn't play it. But like why wouldn't you just play it right away?
So when we say an Asgard, I think it's important which one plays it. And again, this is going to be specifics from FAQ, I feel like is needed for my smooth brain. But for those with massive wrinkle brains and understands AMG, they probably understand how this is exactly played. But to point out, when it says an allied Asgard character, immediately I'm thinking, where does it say the word another? So it says specifically when we're talking about Ragnarok, I'm wondering when it says other allied characters must have been dazed or KO'd this round. Are we referring to the character that played this card, or are we referring to step 1 of Ragnarok, an allied character is dazed or KO'd?
I
Because if
would
that's the
assume we're
case, then to your point, John, talking about the grunts coming back and offing themselves twice, I don't think that they contribute to Ragnarok twice. I think that's why they worded it in that way. The second piece is protect the small. An allied character dazes or KOs 2 or more enemy characters during his activation and ends that activation within range 2 of another allied character that is threat 2 or less. Now, Asgard does not have a 2 threat at this time of recording. They could in the future, but at this time of their record, I think they're protecting, AMG's protecting himself on this instead of having to errata another card. But when you read Protect the Small, another allied character, I'm assuming it's referring to the character that's dazing or KOing 2 or more enemy characters. But
that's
then
what
I'm
I
also
would assume
wondering,
too.
yeah.
I don't think that any of these where they say other allied characters applies to whichever allied character played the card.
I hate this card.
Yeah, it's overly complicated, I feel like.
I
The
think if it
idea
leads
is
a 10-minute
great.
discussion, it's probably overly complicated.
Yeah. Dude, when they put too many words on a card, it's just like the card is neat besides like all the little snafus we're finding and how to like, break the card kind of thing. But it's themey, it's cool because Vikings and stuff like that did deeds and sung about them. However, I'm against cards that are just straight up scoring you points. I think you should have to score points the regular way. That's the point in playing the game.
Speaking of that, let's do a Crossroads quiz. So, according to my favorite program and a lot of people's favorite programs, and thank you for whoever created this if you're listening, Jarvis Protocol, not including the one catastrophe that we just spoke about, how many crisis cards give extra VPs?
It's always more than what you think. It's threes that I know 3, so I'm gonna say 5.
There is 11.
Whoa!
What?
Wait. Huh?
Some
We
of
playing this
these,
game?
a couple of these I've never even heard of. So there is Blood Red Impersonal,
That was not on my list.
Genetic Prophecy,
Not on my list.
It's Time Travel, Don't Ask,
Not on my list.
Mind Games,
That was
Yep.
Sable International,
not on my list.
Simpleton, I'll Do It Myself,
That
That
was.
was.
Spider Sleuth,
Oh my god, we
it just
literally
came
just
out.
talked about that.
Terra
Not on my
Genesis,
list. That was on it. Those were my
Trickster's
Yeah.
3.
Boon, Usurp the Throne,
That was on my list. I had
and
that.
World Domination.
The Hydra card.
Yep. So there is 11 tactics cards that can get you bonus victory points.
It makes
And
the
you'll
10 really
never
hard with this
see-
card now.
You'll never see 8 of them.
I wonder how many listeners got it right.
Well, I want a listener out there to make a list with 10 tactic cards that are all extra point scoring. Throw it under Dormammu. Don't bring Dark Restoration. Just do extra point scoring.
God, I wonder.
Make your
how
opponent
many-
sit in front of you, and if they don't look at your tactic cards, boo them. When you choose your 5 and say them, they'll go, wait a damn minute.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Man, with ones like that, that almost makes me think too when you go back and you look at the card and whatnot. So like slaying the monster, you have to take out a character of 5 or more. And then if you take Blood Red and Personal.
God.
Chain reaction of victory points.
Yeah, like Blood Red and Personal can really chain react. Like there's a lot. If you take some of these other cards
Usurp.
that score you, Usurp
score
is
their
another
5
one.
point. The score their 5.
Now you have to do this in Asgard, but Warriors 3, Loki, Valkyrie, Punisher.
No, your character does not have to be Asgard to accomplish the goals.
World domination is Hydra.
For this card that we're talking about specifically.
Yeah, world domination is Hydra. Trickster's Boon is Asgard. Genetic Prophecy and Terrigenesis is Inhumans. The rest of them are unaffiliated.
So really quick, Asgard has 2 tactic cards now that are locked into their affiliation that are point scoring.
Yeah, Trickster's Boon too.
So is that why this card has to also be Asgard? Maybe I'm giving them a lot of credit, but now things are starting to make a little more sense to me.
Oh my God, Trickster's Boon with Usurp the Throne. During an allied non-Asgard character's activation, Loki plays 4 to play it. Choose an allied non-Asgard character and an enemy character. The chosen allied character gains 5 power.
Mm-hmm.
If the chosen character dazes or KOs the chosen enemy character, gain 1 victory point after it's resolved. Like, you do that with
Usurp.
Killmonger, and then Killmonger spends 3 power to play Usurp and has the extra power to boost his attacks and charge.
Yeah,
I mean, and
Killmonger
then you get Slay
seems
the
like
Monster,
a solid Asgard character right now. Because he's benefiting from Trickster's Boon. He's adding to Deeds of the Worthy. He's cheap, relatively cheap.
Yeah, and then he just...
You know what I'll say too? I wanted to talk about the character card after we talked about the tactic card specifically, because I actually think there's some hidden pros to Warriors 3 that I didn't initially think about until like 8 hours after I initially read this card, where their spender, their effect, after this attack is resolved, the defender suffers 3 and gains stagger. You know what that's a lot better than? Sable spender of dealing 2 additional damage with a headshot. And this is a 3 threat.
But you do need 2 skulls and a wild.
But you know what that is though? I think I like that better than like a skull or a crit hit wild. And the reason why is if I roll like shit with these guys, for the record, I'm going to. I am me and I roll horrible. That's why I play Kingpin. If I'm rolling 2 skulls in my roll, I'm going to feel like crap. But if I'm sitting there going, yeah, hell yeah, I got 2 skulls. I just need that wild. Whatever I don't have, I hope Loki's my leader, man, because I'm going to use that leadership on this attack. I want to deal that 3. I rolled like crap. Don't even worry about it. I'm still dealing 3 and giving you stagger. That's pretty good.
You want a weird thing too that I noticed about it. So I'm looking at Silver Sable. So headshot is just straight up. If you're not within 3 and you don't have cover, you're just doing it extra. You increase the amount by 2. So with Warriors 3, this is the same problem Lady Mastermind has. This is DR twice. So any character that has DR will DR from the initial attack and will DR from the suffers the 3 damage. Versus Silver Sables is in addition to and requires no triggers.
That's a good point, John. Actually, I didn't think of that.
But that is my major problem with Lady Mastermind is that the second I see that crime, like I took Lady Mastermind out of my list specifically because she's such dog shit against DR characters. Because it's like, oh, she does extra damage. That's a separate indication of damage. Great. It always goes down to just 1. Because the DR will always take effect and it'll always take all my damage down. Like crime, I would never put her on the table against crime.
Yeah, that sucks. So if they got their trigger and only did like 2 damage with their attack, they're still only doing like 3 damage instead of 5.
In my mind too, that's a good point because I wasn't thinking of it in that regard, John.
I didn't think about it until I looked at Silver Sable's thing and then I was like, no. And playing Lady Mastermind, it made me think about it.
Yeah. We were talking about so actually, can I take this opportunity to start going through their card of my opinions on it here?
Yeah.
because I think actually these are great points too, because even after the 8 hours of me rereading this card over and over and over and over again, trying to figure out what's great about this, I'm still learning new things based on like the comparison with Sable. But specifically, Branderhide Undrigzer, and I totally butchered that. I apologize, audience, to the one person that speaks as Guardian. But here is like you're doing, to John's point, minimally 6 dice. The maximum amount of dice is 12. If you're hitting an 8 threat Dormammu, an 8 threat Thanos, an Atom, you're hitting high. You know, there's some options there, but it's still on average of the average cost of the game, a 3 to 4 threat character that you may be hitting. You're doing 7 to 8 dice. And I think what Clumsy Warrior verbiage and also just the title of the effect, if I fuck up the roll, I'm still dealing damage, baby, and giving stagger. You know, it's kind of better that I'm a drunken Clumsy Warrior, right? So in my mind, I actually think it kind of protects me a little bit and kind of it assists in that damage output, right?
You're gonna roll 2 skulls and no wild all the time.
I know, right? It's all me specifically, right? I mean, you guys both know. You've seen my rolls. You'll see me crash out in the corner.
I got my 2 skulls. Oh, I didn't get the
time
wild.
I want to be clumsy, man. But
And,
so I thought that was
it could technically only be 4 dice if you spend her a grunt.
Yeah.
You're fucking retarded.
Listen. If I do that and I'm attacking the Hydra Grunts, I don't care, because the number of times I've whiffed on a Hydra Grunt is absurd. I could kill him outright with this. I don't even care if I give him stagger, but the stagger's for
your
sure.
grunts.
But I mean, so going through this card, right? It's a 3 threat, 5 health, 3/3/3, size 2, move short. All of those numbers are abysmal except for the 3 threat, right? Those aren't really the numbers that I want on something. When I'm really looking at it, 65 millimeter large base at a short move moves further than a small base medium mover, right? That's a little bit of a pro, I guess. With that, though, I mean, I'm looking at the ranges. They're Hindergarten. The first one is range 2, 5 dice, power equal to damage dealt, wild stun. Stun's pretty good. Fimbledrogger is range 3, 4 dice, 0 cost. After the effect's resolved, I gain a static 1. Wild gives bleed. Wild hit is pierce. Pierce is always great. Bleed can be pretty effective, but that pierce is hard to hit. I'm glad it's not like wild crit or something absurd. Hits are more common, so it may not make too much of a difference in a short amount of games.
What's silly about it though is that X-23 has Adamantium Slash, which is 5 dice, Wild Bleed, Wild Pierce, 3 cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why make it 2? Why have 2 triggers?
Yeah. I think also like they have a leader that gives a reroll, right, on attacks. Although X-23 gets a reroll on her Assassin's Training.
Mm-hmm.
But again, each to their own of how they're looking at it at AMG. But what I was looking at, and Gary, you kept mentioning it too, man, I keep thinking Wrecking Crew. I keep thinking Wrecking Crew because 65 millimeter base, multiple characters on it. They can do their ability strike 1 for Voltstag. They can perform a 0 cost power attack targeting an enemy character within 2. So though Fimbledrogger is range 3, they have to do it range 2. When it's resolved, though, the punishment is if they contain any skulls in their roll, they suffer a wound once per turn. Now, that does stink. It costs 2. They can do it round 1. Now, what you could do with this character, and I thought about it a little bit of like, well, I don't want to be doing this every round, I think. They can move twice round 1 and do strike 1 for Voltstag. And honestly, they have a good chance of killing a grunt.
Yeah.
You know, you get your free attack if you really need this. Yeah, I can send my 3 threat out there to attack the grunt that picked up. And hey, if they do the attack, I can either choose the one that's 4 dice and maybe pierces and then gives me the static 1 to pick up something that falls, or, you know, I do Hinderdragon. But specifically, if I do the attack that gives me a static 1, I could do a pay to flip if I position myself right.
Yeah.
So there's some
I mean,
possibilities.
that's what you do. Maybe that's how he's supposed to be played, is you're moving twice and you're spending for the attack just to be like, you think I'm slow, but in reality, I'm a base, short, a base, short, a base.
Yep. Now, the
which is
other thing,
pretty
too,
big.
I was thinking of a domino effect with this character. If you're playing him in Asgard specifically, and we're taking Loki too, Loki's leadership gets used on this attack, 100%. 100%. It has to be used. Loki gains a power from it, correct?
I don't know how I
As
haven't played
soon as
Loki.
you do Loki's leadership on this character's attack, Loki gains a power. And I think the coolest bit of that isn't the effect that this character gets to do. It's the fact that, okay, so Loki can now have 3 power round 1 if he's activating after. The cool thing about that, Loki can now portal up an ally and pick up an extract or interact with a secure.
So you're thinking he's a good turn 1 activation.
I think this character and the
Sets it
tactic
off.
cards in his box too. I think what this actually is this isn't a character that's going to deal damage from attacks all the time. Don't bank on that. Don't bank on that this character is going to have like insane rounds and activations on their own. It could. He can attack 3 times. Specifically, what I'm looking at is this 3-threat character is an enabler for Asgard leadership. He enables a lot round 1 is what I'm thinking on the back burner. And then throughout, I mean, the 2 cards that are in his box, they're enablers for Asgard. They're point scoring. There's a card that can heal and give power and give somebody shock and stun at the same time if you got all the power on them. I would love for Warriors 3 to get beat up so I can play that card.
You do sound like you're onto something, especially that 2 moves and doing the attack kind of thing, and then basically setting up Loki for next turn. That definitely seems like a solid plan.
And then my last and second part of this card that I'm grouping together is their reactive ability, My Steel Shall Strike for Thee, costs 2. He has it online round 1 if he didn't spend for anything. He can sit on a secure and have this available, and someone may think, I don't think I want to attack him just on the off chance I get tapped with a bleed early. He can strike back. He can strike back and then gain a power from it too, which is not bad. Maybe he applies bleed, maybe he pierces for extra damage. But besides all that, when he suffers damage from an attack from Grim Resolve, he can move short toward them and then heal a damage if he advances. Those 2, to me, again, to the keyword that I keep dropping on this guy, deterrent. I don't want to whiff on this character simply because of what could occur in these kits that are available here. They're not superb. There are better kits out there. But if it's an affiliated 3 for Asgard, I think they need affiliated 3s. But this in particular, I don't really want to tap them. And if you bring that other card with them, I really don't want to tap them and give them the power. That would stink if I don't kill them. So in my mind, all that's there, I think they enable and they deter for what a 3-threat could do with that. But I think a lot of playtesting needs to be done. I would love to throw these guys on the table on Asgard. I'm so interested on what they're going to be thrown into. My first thought is Dormammu might actually really love these guys. But I mean, I think time will tell on these. In my mind, I think Gary, I think you're onto something where they're just under the belt to be taken enough, especially their tactic card. I think their tactic card is not going to be in their 5. But I think there's something that people could do with a domino effect with these guys, which is always, in my mind, fun.
Yeah, like I don't think they're never taken. Like you're gonna see them. I just don't think I'm ever gonna care when playing against them. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, they might have deterrence, but like, do I really have to take them out? I mean, unless they have an objective, like if they have an extract, then yeah, maybe I got to take them out. If they're not, it's like, I mean, hell, I'm more worried about Bullseye because Bullseye's guaranteed to do a damage to me. Like,
Yeah. Hey, these guys could deal 3. If your opponent is rolling bad all game, they're probably going to deal that 3.
yeah, and it's just like only having
think-
physical, only like having small dice attacks, no rerolls, even though under Loki, I think under Loki is their one chance of like functioning. But I do like the move attack. Like that's
My last bit too, Gary, and I'm curious because I think you have played more Shadowland than I have in total at this point. Actually, I'm very confident in that. I think you're quite good with Shadowland, and I'm kind of anti him. I think they kind of like him. If they could re-roll on all 3 attacks similar to Wrecking Crew loves Shadowland.
Yeah.
I think these guys do too. You can't
Yeah.
bring the cards that are in the box with them or anything, but
also
it's
the reason
not
that like
bad.
Wrecking Crew loves Shadowlands is they have like the beam and they have a lot more attack
Yeah. I think because
ability.
this guy has the clapback and it's online round 1 even if you don't have priority, I think that's
Yeah.
why I'm leaning more toward. I think that they could actually they could fill that Shadowland where I've heard of the lists of like Shadowland, all your characters have clapback to some degree. You got, I mean, you could take these guys, you got even like original Sabretooth in there, you got Hawkeye in there, you got people that can just clap back and get as many deterrents as possible in the attacks that you do.
And it's
I
nice
see
that
a world where this is there.
It's nice that Film Draugr gives you that 1 power guaranteed, because that way you can move, attack, get the 1 power, pick up the extract, so you're not left stuck.
I'm glad it's not Hindraugr, which is the range 2,
Range
5,
2.
main power to damage dealt.
Yeah. Even
I
though
think you're
getting
onto something. I think they're bait. I think you're right. I think they're like the perfect bait for Asgard to throw out there.
And that's what I keep coming back to also, because like there's also like Valkyrie, the new Valkyrie has the whole like when somebody dies,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they're meant to go die. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm more of an MCU savant than I am the comics. These guys get beat up all the time and everything, though, man. I mean, they get walloped. I mean, they're 3 guys with swords with some pretty good strength, cunning, and charisma. And man, are they good drinking buddies? But to be honest, how I kept referring to these guys, I'm not calling them Warriors 3. I'm calling the frat Asgardians. They're frat partying, man. They're here to have a good time and they're knocking out and blacking out. But I mean, this card to me fits their style of how I see them in the comics and the MCU, etc. Their tactic card being the Psalms is kind of cool too. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, of course they're hard to hit. They're high tails. But also at the same time, I want it to be better for like technical gameplay. But at the same time, I'm like, oh yeah, more than half the time, aren't these guys singing or boistering about their heroic journeys, etc.?
and under Mighty Thor they get rerolls.
Yep.
Yeah, and they might have more play than I initially thought. You brought up like excellent points on why they should be played. Once you said that, that's the first thing I thought of. I was like, man, they make great bait. And then, that's all you need is for that to happen. Then Loki shoves somebody up, and then you've got characters charging away. So, yeah, I think you're onto something there. So that's the Warriors 3 card and the 2 Asgardian cards that are coming with them. I think we are going to wait till next week. We'll take a look at Valkyrie's cards. I think, thanks to Wyatt, we really have to do a little bit more thinking than initial thoughts there. He's got me thinking hard on those Warriors 3 now. We do have some upcoming events coming up. So we have the Battle to End Alzheimer's, April 11th through the 12th, and that is at Dover Downs in Dover, Delaware. These tickets are available now. Yeah, you get them through the BEA, so the Battle to End Alzheimer's website. 1 ticket gets you into both events. And then from there, you can't sign up for Longshanks like our normal tournaments. It should sign you up automatically. Should. So email us or let us know if something goes wrong. This is the first time we'll be doing something this way. We have ATC, which is in Chattanooga, Tennessee, June 26th through the 28th. We'll be doing a singles and a doubles out there. I have just put in our events for Nova this year, which is Labor Day weekend, September 2nd through the 6th. So I don't have any official what we're doing. I have to wait and see what they approve, what they don't approve. Plan is, of course, singles, doubles, affiliation should all go through, and then we'll see what we're going to do from there. And I know Wyatt and his Nova Protocol guys have some events coming up, so I'm going to let him run them down for us.
Yes, we do. At this time of recording, we have a tournament on January 31st. Hopefully, by the time this is released, everyone can take a peek at that. But that is at Your Hobby Place Alexandria, hosted by Nova Protocol and myself, as well as some other admins that are on that server. For those interested, please go ahead and check out our Discord, Nova Protocol, a MCP and Shatterpoint Discord. A massive group of just massive fans. We are nerds, we are gamers, and we are beer and pretzels down to have a good time, good vibe. But we are sister associated with folks here at Target Acquired, we are your fans. We are listening. We are there. We are cheering when you guys drop, and I am listening at all times of the day to your lovely voices. So I'm happy to be here, and thank you. But massive shout out to our community. Also, just good vibes, good players, and honestly, a contribution to some heavy hitters here on the East Coast is Nova Protocol and Target Acquired Mix. So thank you all so much.
No problem. And if you are in the Virginia area, Nova Protocol, like their Discord is the place to be. They have all the events, like all the stores are involved. You know, if you're Maryland, Virginia, anywhere in that general area, it's definitely the place to be to get whatever you need. They have great help for building stuff, tactics, crises, the whole 9 yards.
Very
So
talkative.
definitely
Also,
check them out. Yes, very talkative. They're very active, which is great.
We will blow up your notifications for sure. But thank you guys so
Yeah.
much. We love you all so much, Target Acquired and listeners. Thank you. And I
Yeah,
appreciate
we're super
being
happy
here.
to have you. We hope to have, we had Dan on, we've had you on. We're hoping to continue down the train with some special guests in the future to get some other opinions and whatnot. We'll also, it's not on the event calendar yet, but we will be at Richmond Open. Unclear what we're doing down there, but we will be there. And so will Nova Protocol. Well, they'll be down at Richmond Open as well, like we were last year. I have no idea when that is, but tickets are up now, and they have singles and doubles, and that's it. I know it's the
May
weekend before
1st,
King's
3rd.
Dominion opens.
May 1st through
'cause
3rd.
May 1st through the 3rd at Richmond Open down like right across the street from King's Dominion is where it was last time.
Fantastic event. Great space.
Yeah, it's a huge space. I was weirdly like, I was afraid it was going to be very hot because it was one giant open room. And it was pretty comfortable, I thought.
I thought it was
I
pretty
wasn't
good.
hot. Yeah, I thought it was great. It's a great space. It's huge space. And they're adding, they just put up their tickets for this year, and they're adding a ton of different game systems from what I saw. From what I saw from like the last Facebook post, there was at least like 6 or 7 new game systems getting added. So that's really good for them. I think that's all we have for this week because we got a long episode going here. Target Acquired Podcast is brought to you by Game Chefs, your ultimate destination for all things tabletop. Whether you're looking for a new exciting board game, assembling your squad for Marvel Crisis Protocol, or building the perfect Warhammer army, Game Chefs has everything you need: miniatures, dice, rulebooks, and the best community of gamers around. And just for you, our amazing listeners, Game Chefs is offering 15% off your next purchase, not our next purchase. Just use the code TAG2025, that's TAG 025 at gamechefs.org and save on your next adventure. Roll some dice and level up your game at Game Chefs. Link and code can be found in the description. That concludes this episode of a Target Acquired podcast. See ya!